We are live. Meriden. Oh, my microphone's right here. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. This is our last Monday night draw for.
Are you sure we're live?
It says we're live, yeah. It always works. Every single time it works this way. You think we're not live, and we're live.
I'm not. Oh, now I'm live.
So I wasn't live?
I don't
Whatever.
know.
Anyway, we're here now. Every week. We need one of those intros where it does like the music.
Next season.
Next season.
Next season.
Something to do this summer. Yeah, thank you everyone so much for coming. And
welcome to the season, not the series, the season finale of Monday Night Draw with Meredith and Dave. It's the season finale. We're just ending the first season. We'll be back in September with season number 2.
Very exciting.
I'm excited for the break.
Yeah.
So I can sleep. Because we all know Meredith needs her sleep. Where are my headphones?
Right here.
I knew something was wrong.
They're really right there. I had it all set up for you. Everything's all set up.
Excuses.
All right. I actually got a question before we started.
No questions before we start.
About underdrawing.
No questions. Oh no! Unless I ask them, no questions. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, and
you're just gonna do my job.
Also, before I start, my glasses, I've got stuff on them. Let me deal with that.
It's a professional operation here.
All right, pick it up, Meredith.
Pick it up. What?
We're low energy right now.
I had to wake up. I had to wake up to come down and do this.
Yeah.
Takes a bit to get the energy back when you're sleeping.
So I drew Superman last week, and this week I'm drawing Gorilla Grodd. I had his legs coming down here, and I kind of didn't like it, so I put them up there. Actually, it was really the last 3 minutes before this started this time, so I kind of cheated a little bit because I'm looking at it. I thought I didn't like it. I couldn't just stare at it, so I changed his position a little bit. And this actually is a little bit more like the picture from Lineal U. And let me show you again, in case you weren't here last week. Last week's book of the week was this one. This is Lineal U's Lead Poisoning from a long time ago. I'm curious. 2006, long time ago now. And I was looking at this picture here. And so that's kind of what I had in my head. And I put his legs down, and it was ruining the pose. So Lineal knew what he was doing. So I'm going that way.
Evil One says, get Mare some caffeine again. Mare's drinking tea right now.
So that should help.
It's decaf.
Oh, and I need to get my gorilla reference.
I want to sleep tonight. I want to sleep.
So
we had a wicked thunderstorm here last night. I think that's why I'm tired.
Yeah, it was pretty heavy.
So my dad told me today, and I looked it up. It's true, because dads are always right.
Right. How often I hear that?
We got an inch of rain, easily an inch of rain last night, and in an inch of rain, that is 27,000 gallons of water
per acre.
And we have 30 acres. I calculated it out. Last night, we got 810,000 gallons of water dumped on our property.
Assuming that is true. And
it's on YouTube, or it's on the internet. So it must be true, because we all know stuff that's on the internet. It's true. So, but that's why we got some puddles today.
If it's written with a typewriter or keyboard,
yeah,
so it looks all nice.
If it's on my screen and it looks good, it's true.
That's right.
It's true.
Good rule of thumb.
That's how my kids go. That's how it goes.
I think I want to.
All right, we got a super chat from James Larger. I say Larger just because I want to. It might not be Larger, but that's what I'm saying, James. $50, and I have the mics.
Whoa.
So,
well, thank you so much, James.
James says, have a great vacation. We'll be waiting with bells on. You both rock. Thanks, James.
Thank you very much.
You guys rock.
And, I've said it a bunch of times, but I'm not going anywhere. This is really more of a Meredith vacation than anything. I think you hit the wall.
Dave, I got lots to do. It's busy times. I'm up early. I need some time to just concentrate on getting stuff together.
This is such a struggle for me. I don't draw apes.
And then it'll be fresh.
So I'm kind of hoping this will work.
It'll be super fresh when we come back. I want to sing a song about being fresh and exciting, but I can't because we'll get copyright strike.
What a shame. I swear copyright rules were invented
just to stop Meredith from singing. Somebody
just for me.
But don't you worry. At some point tonight, I'll sing happy birthday. Let's do it now. For all the people who have summer birthdays. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to all the Finch flock that have summer birthdays. We'll see you in September. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, I didn't know I was gonna get it in.
For anybody that hasn't watched before, she doesn't do this the whole time. A lot of the time, I try and limit it. But.
Tune in September. I'm gonna write new songs over the summer. Sokoyev says, Dave and Meredith, I will miss the streams, but then again, it will encourage me to spend more time working on my own art. Have a great vacation.
Thank you so much.
Nathaniel Archer, summer birthday, that's me. Dan G says, I'm looking forward to the painting stream this Thursday. That's Dan Genovese.
Oh, yeah.
Genovese.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun. Eric Genovese. And I painted on Saturday this week, and Eric's actually turned out really well. Mine was an absolute disaster, and my problem is its skin tones. I'm just really struggling. You know what? I'm going to show you guys. So you know what? Don't judge me too harshly. And I've had people say, and I really appreciate this. Oh, you say you can't paint, like, you know, no, this is what I mean, because this will happen. It's underneath all my paint that I stack off my desk. Sometimes it just ends up going like this. I can't see it because I've got all my reference on the screen. There, that's it. And it's just kind of all over the place right now. And I just got lost.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I say when I paint and it looks like that. I'm like, might as well just let match to it.
Anyway, I don't think I'm going to continue with this one. I think I'm going to.
It's really good.
You like that?
Yeah, I do actually.
I just don't know what to. Well,
let me see it up close. Hand it over. I mean, maybe it's just the lighting making it look good. It's more orange holding it in my hand than under the light. So what if he did like a gray wash over top of it?
Sure, you know, I'm willing to try. Yeah, why not? I'll try anything. Believe me.
Do you know what I mean? Like, hold it under look at it in person.
Right.
But then hold it and look at how the light, like holding it underneath your light, distorts it.
Yeah. Well, these lights are so bright.
Well, sure, but hold it now. Look at your screen.
Yeah.
See?
It is different. It's killing a lot of that orange. Anyway, it looks awful, and I hit the wall. So I have an idea though, and so I mentioned Jeff Miracola a couple of times, who's an incredible painter with oil and acrylic and a bunch of things. And the gorillas have ears. I know they have ears, but can you see their ears? Hang on, go back to my reference. You can. They're small. All right. And he does a technique where he'll actually paint in black and white whatever it is that he wants to paint, and then he does glazes over it to get his color. And I thought, you know what, that might be a really good way for me to try and go.
Fix that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it, Meredith. I'll try.
See, I'm right.
Anyway, so
I'm always right.
Yeah. No, I hate to just. I don't think you learn anything when you just quit.
No, you'll fix it. I think sometimes I have an eye.
Right.
Sometimes.
And Eric, actually, I also, and what was making me think about it is Eric's painting turned out really well. And when I went really dark with my background, too dark. And then I tried to put in my highlights and they look great. Like, it really just did not work well. Whereas Eric actually went in with a mid-tone, nice warm wash over the whole thing. And he was able to go back down and pull up from it. It really worked. And so I was thinking, you know what? I need to rethink. So I'm actually going to try a black and white method just to get my values the way that I want them, get my forms in there how I want,
and then fix it,
and then see where I can go from there. So
I don't just have an eye. SCS Powerlifting has a super chat for $5, and SCS says I have the voice of an angel.
You like SCS around here?
We do.
So he's got like a certain amount of
Must be
I'm
true.
not going to say anything.
If I read it on the internet, it must be true. Dan Lassard has a super chat
Hey, it's Dan Lassard.
for $5. Thank you so much, Dan. I don't see a comment.
Well, thank you so much, Dan. And I'm sure that some of you, I would have mentioned this before, and you would have heard, but Dan is an incredible painter locally here. He does a lot of airbrush work and really beautiful stuff. He's done stuff for the Toronto Maple Leafs and sports teams all over. And
Have I met Dan?
No. And you know what? I've talked to Dan a few times. I have never actually physically met Dan, and he's just in Tecumseh, which is not that far from where we are. So, I really should have by now, but I haven't.
All right. Honest Battler has a super chat for $1.99. Honest Battler says, "Hi, Dave and Meredith. For clarity, I just emailed you my question." Well, I don't see it in my email, so we'll keep checking back on that.
Yeah.
It will be easy.
Do you know where it would go? It would go to
Gmail, I'm assuming.
Right, my Gmail, not yours.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm looking, but there's no new questions. There's no new emails.
We'll keep refreshing.
We'll keep refreshing. All right. Wise words from Tagmo Model Works. You learn how to quit when you just quit.
Yeah.
True.
And I mean, I've quit on painting so many times. It's been a lot of times over the years. And this is why, like, I have had successes with paint, like where I've been happy with it. And I've just had a million times where it's just been a real disaster. And because when it gets hard, I just walk away from it and go back to what I know. Well, you get what you get.
All right, here's Honest Battler's question. I need to fix, he sent us a sketch and says, I need to fix his right arm to look like it's swaying behind him ever so slightly, but it still has tension because he's gathering energy.
All right, let's see the picture. All right, so this is the picture. Hopefully you guys can kind of see that. And his right arm, to me, looks good. It looks like it's swinging. I'm thinking, okay, what would I? So I'm gonna just do a quick drawing of it, just to try it out. But it looks good. Now, if you want it to be much like very tense, we'll try that. So I'm just drawing my basic tube going this way. So it's, a tube going this way. And then for the bottom, I'm going to draw it basically just straight down. And I like how you bent the wrist and it's nicely placed. So I think that looks really good. And actually I bent my arm in a little bit and it kind of killed it. So let me fix that and make it a little bit more like the angle that you used. I think it worked better than what I just did there. And then he's got this arm here. And this arm's coming out. Now, I will say this arm looks like it's sitting flat. And so we're going to work on that. As much as we can get away with before Meredith realizes that I'm doing this. And it's going to take forever. So here's his legs. Now, you actually have his hip going. This hip is higher than this hip. And then this shoulder is a little higher than this shoulder. Now, generally speaking, I like to, if I have this shoulder higher, I like to have this hip lower. And so I'm actually going to do that. And your hip that you have your weight on tends to sit higher because the weight from the ground pushes up on that hip. So I'm going to leave my hips that way. So I get that kind of motion. I'm going to lift this leg and put this leg in front and then this leg back, which actually breaks. Generally speaking, you want, if you have one arm forward, you want the opposite leg forward. But I'm going to break that because it's more important to me that I get the flow of the body working. All right. And so his hand, and I want to say again, or well, I guess not again, but I want to say that the way you angle the hand is very nice. It's very easy to just draw it flat, and it's really difficult to do that with your own hand. It naturally is going to come at an angle, and so I think that really works. And I like how you defined your fingers. So there we go. There's his hand. And so, yeah, let me, I'm just going to work on form really quickly. And so I've got my chest here. Now I'm going to, and you have drawn the top of the shoulder, so I have no issue with that at all. And I think that really works as a result. And this is going to connect here. I want this to connect in front of this. And I don't see that connection going on there. And it just pushes this in front of this. So it pushes that back. I'm going to do the same thing here. This will be behind it. I can bring these lines in front of these, and it'll just kind of push that back a little bit more. And I can really get a lot of directionality just by my crossovers. And now for this arm here, what I want to do is I'm going to lift the front of the deltoid and bring it down like this, and that'll kind of make it look like it's coming toward me. And I really want to accentuate that this arm is coming toward me like as a tube. So there we go. And I personally like really hard lines and keeping it really nice and short up here. If you want it to look foreshortened coming towards you like this. And I'm not going to do the hand.
Okay.
And here's his body. I think what you did works. Yeah.
All right.
And another thing you can do.
Thank you for that tutorial.
If you want to push the arm back a little bit more, because it's facing, this is facing downward, you could actually just shadow this whole area here, just like this.
Feel like it's important to say.
And that really pushes it back and looks like it's going backward.
To ask Dragon King 1348's question.
All right, here you
for
go.
$4.99, which is there a way we can get your criticism on some work we did? This really not the way to do it. Traditionally, we prefer that you join up for the Robert Marzullo, Dave Finch art critique when you review portfolios.
Yes.
And help people with their artwork.
It's true.
So, have you talked to Robert about that?
No.
When's the next one scheduled?
I'm going to call him tomorrow.
I'm going to make you call him tomorrow.
The problem is if I don't talk to him, Robert's like, well, you know what? Hey, you're busy. He doesn't really.
He's very chill.
Yes. And so I need to call him.
Robert is very chill. He's very cool. He's the cool cat in the group. He's the cool cat. You know.
Oh my gosh.
Hello, cat. Still alive, I see.
Am I killing you? It just wouldn't be Monday Night Draw if I didn't make you roll your.
That was a whole other level.
If I didn't make you roll your eyes and complain about me. It's the whole point of the show.
Right.
Thank you for your super chat, Dragon King 1348. All right. Amy Morris has a super chat for $5, but Amy, I don't see your question.
Well,
that's twice tonight. Thank you for the super chat, but make sure you tag me so that I can ask whatever question it was that you had. Michael Johnson Curry for $9.99 a super chat. Michael says I got feedback from some on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pages. Unmarketable came up several times. Would doing studies of classic artists like Buscema, Byrne, etc. be a good idea? Also, editors seem to really hate Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. LOL.
Well, that I did not know. Unmarketable. I strongly disagree. And you know what? I think it's a challenge when you're doing a style that is not exactly mainstream. And I would say if you were looking for, if you want to go more in that direction, I think John Buscema is phenomenal. As a matter of fact, actually, my book of the week is not John Buscema, but a John Buscema influence artist that is very influential for me. My one thing is I would say picking up on the design cues and the kind of things that I would say for me right now, if I was looking at the business, I thought, okay, what kind of a style would I like to emulate, and what do I think would really give me the best chance? Now, bearing in mind that when you emulate a style, it's not a life sentence. It's a direction, and it's a direction that you can always change. And anyway, I think if it were me, I would be looking at what Jorge Jimenez is doing over on Batman. I think it's absolutely amazing. That stuff, Sean Gordon Murphy, and everybody's working kind of on the computer. People expect it. So I think I would, you kind of have to nowadays. Have to, it might be a strong word. It makes it easier. Yeah, I would really recommend maybe looking at, and I gotta say, first of all, I think it's crazy that they would say that. It really does depend on the company and the kind of work that they're looking to publish. But I'm sorry that it went that way. But yeah, I think that Jorge Jimenez would be actually a really good choice for you, because he has a very a realistic but animated kind of influence style that really, really I think there's like a big thumb back here on the foot. I don't know how to draw. Gorilla Grodd's gonna have normal feet. I don't know how to draw. I already gave him a ridiculous pinky. That's gonna be as far as I go. I don't know how to draw gorillas. Man, the time I draw a foot and it's a foot I can't draw.
All right. Next super chat. Oh, I have to read this question.
But yeah, Jorge Jimenez. I really think it would be something to take a look at.
I'm sorry. Were you done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question I'm going to read. There's not a super chat question, but I'm going to read it anyway. Blast Off 280 says, at Meredith, sorry to use the at when I haven't super chatted, but I was curious when the giveaway winners should expect their pieces to come in the mail. So I haven't sent them yet.
Yeah, we had an argument about that this morning.
Dave yelled at me, but it's been so busy. But I'm going to go tomorrow.
And I've carved out. Yeah, it's been busy.
No, but I carved out. I know, but
so it's going out tomorrow.
The FedEx, the art pieces go FedEx, so they'll get there Wednesday. Like they go the next day.
This is like you.
The two book people who are getting like packages of books, they'll get there. I mean, anybody's guess. I send them express post though, so there's tracking.
They should be pretty quick.
But yeah, better than when COVID first started. So
yeah,
hopefully within a week or two,
everybody
will have all their stuff. All right. Next super chat comes from Honest Battler for $4.99. Thanks to you, Dave. I picked up Tombow Funden Soko, whatever.
Fudenasuki.
Yeah. The soft tip gives me the rendering shape I was lacking. I got Uniposca White Pro White Socks.
Yeah. Oh, it does. Yeah. Uniposca, that's this stuff, which I just left my cap off of. This stuff is the best. This stuff is so good to use. And I've got a couple of different sizes. This is my detail size, which I use 99% of the time. And then I've got a huge one if I really blow it. And since I started using these, I have not had to, a lot of times if you do inking and you really run into trouble, you'll end up having to just create a patch, paste it down, and just start again. Well, this never happens to me with that stuff. Right. Which is very nice.
Thank you for the super chat. Antoine Washington has a super chat for $1.99. Antoine says, happy Monday, Dave and Meredith. Hope all is well.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
All is well.
Things are good. We had a huge, well, you were saying we had a huge amount of rain. So I woke up this morning and the whole place is flooded. We have a field, and it has, water issues. So that's something we're going to have to deal with at some point. I'm not looking forward to that. It needs to go back here.
I missed a couple super chats. Amy Morris has her super chat now for $5. Amy says, Dave, your Conan painting just needs a glaze of some purple or green, and it will look like Bisley's. Quit being so hypercritical of a beautiful Conan.
Well, thank you.
Agreed, Amy.
Purple or green. You know what? I'm gonna try green.
Yeah.
Because I know that's like a complementary color for orange.
Yeah, it'll make it gray.
But I totally right. Yeah.
It'll kick back that.
I did mention Jeff Miracola, and now he doesn't work this way all the time, but I've seen him do it, and it's so effective. And I just think for things, it's skin tones that give me so much trouble. I find Darker skin tones I have an easier time with because you have like a really rich shadow, and then a lot of times the highlight is more cool, and that interplay just really sings.
But let's be honest here. It's not just that skin tones give you color or trouble. It's you never ever do the same technique twice.
Yeah. Well, actually,
you can't even say that because your He-Man picture turned out great, but you had to go and do something totally different. You never ever do the same thing twice. So don't say skin tones give you trouble.
Okay. You know what? If you do the same thing every single time when you're trying to learn, how much are you going to learn?
Sometimes
draw pictures or
sometimes when I'm riding my horse to become an expert at something, I have to do the same skill over and over again so that I get that skill down before I move on to the next skill.
All right. Well, good for you.
It's not that I'm not growing. It's just that I'm growing in a method that's methodical and makes sense.
All right.
It's how they teach you in school.
All right. Stop.
Which you wouldn't know anything about. Supersonico has a jet for 129 Mexican pesos.
Thank you, Supersonic. You'll build out right now.
Mare and Dave, please enjoy your vacations. Make all this pain worth it.
We will. Actually, there is one. I mean, I'm going to be doing painting streams and that kind of thing. So there's that. But we are going to Merida's parents' cottage in the end of July. Is that right? Can't remember.
First week of August.
First week of August. All right, whatever. And so yeah, we'll miss a week there. There's that.
You're not going to be streaming every week.
Oh yeah.
You say that now.
Oh, I will.
We're not putting. There's no parameters on this.
Mark my words.
Sigh. Trying to give him.
Trying to give me the out.
A little bit of a break, which I am.
Stupid to take it out, Meredith.
No, he's not. I'm not going to say anything on the stream because you get mad at me when I say stuff like this. I'm covering my mouth right now about the need to stream and why you need to stream. Honest Battler has a super chat for $2.99. Don't apes have hands for feet?
This is Gorilla Grodd, though.
It's not just an ape, yeah.
But yeah, they kind of do, and he does too. You know what? I'm going to work on that foot. I'm going to finish his head and finish some of the rest, and then I am going to get a little bit of reference. Because yeah, it'd be a shame for me to do this guy, and the one time I draw feet, and like the last time. When's the last time I did feet on a sketch? Rarely enough that I keep getting teased about it. So I think I should probably actually.
I love Ross Klein. You know what Ross Klein just said?
What?
You need a French drain. What have I been saying? What have I been saying? I agree, Ross. I need actually 800 feet of French drain, which I'm going to put in once my field gets
a decently substantial cost, and then we'll have to do it right.
Disked and planted. Stop. We're not fighting.
Klein, very, very smart. I'll give him.
We're not fighting today. Mix is nasty. Mix is nasty. It took me a bit. As a super chat for $5. I finally found the parallel line making tool you use on Amazon. It's a nautical mapping tool. Can't wait till it gets here.
Oh, that's great.
It's from Binnacle.
Yeah, Binnacle.
It is a nautical mapping tool.
It is. Now, the one I have here is not from Binnacle. I actually lent my regular one, and it's clear. So much more useful than this. It's so difficult when
you had a bunch of them.
I know. I don't know.
You bought a bunch, and then you don't lend them out. You just give them away. Here, I've got extra. Take this.
Anyway, this one here is actually an antique, and I got it in an antique store. But since I had none, I'm using it, so it's not much of an antique now. Now it's mostly trashed. Whatever.
It's used.
You know what? Who sells antiques anyway?
That's what an antique is. It's a used piece of equipment. You're more antiquing it.
Yeah. And honestly, who sells antiques anyway? Like I like antiques, so I buy them every once in a while, and you end up spending extra money. And it's not like one day I'm going to like, oh, hey, I'll put this up and make my money back. No, I don't know. It's a waste. And I don't care.
Spirit Retro has a super chat for £5. Bail, David. Abort. More constructively, What sort of studies and challenges do you do to develop your coloring and shading? Doing a 3-day study at the moment.
For coloring, I've been doing this for a long time with some success here and there, and then a lot of failures. And anyway, my technique for when I started and what I still kind of concentrate on is, and I find this really works for me, and that is, as I go, like, let's say I'm using blue, and blue is a very easy color for me, or red, a lot of colors. Anyway, what I'll do is I'll go much more gray with the color. So it'll be a very, very gray blue, very little blue actually in it. And then as it gets closer and closer to the light, so on my next layer of blue, I'll add more blue to the mixture. I'll lighten it with a little bit of white, add a little bit more blue. And then as I go up, it gets more saturated. So it's less gray, because when you, we see black and white in the dark, and we see color in the light. And so I find that things are much more vibrant when I really isolate the color as much as possible. And it can look incredibly colorful without looking garish and just unrealistic, which is how it looks. It drives me crazy when I see a picture with like a night sky that's a really, really deep, like phthalo blue, that's really, really saturated, because to me, it kills the picture. So that is, my biggest when it comes to color. That's what I know the most. And now, I mean, there's complementary colors and that kind of thing. My understanding of that stuff is not bad. Obviously not where it needs to be, but my main technique is really just being less saturated in the shadows. Like skin tones can have very, very warm shadows, but that's a warm brown. I wouldn't want to go with like a really intense color. So yeah, there you go. That's my kind of rule. And I'm sure it's a rule that I'm sure only works for some things, but I use it everywhere.
All right. Nick from Detroit says, Meredith, you'll miss us. You will need a fix before September. I'm going to be in bed every night by 7:00.
You will miss them.
I will miss everybody.
By the time you come back, you'll be pretty happy.
I'll be happy to come back. Art9 says, why, Meredith Finch? Why are you leaving us? You have no heart for us. We will be sad. I love you. I do, Art9. But I need to take some time for me. Isn't that what everybody says? Take some time for me.
It's not you.
No, it's not you. It's me. But every show has a season. To everything, there is a season. A time to be on Monday Night Draw, and a time to take a break from it. So we're going to take the summer. It's perfect. And like, I'm outside with the kids and the horses, and we're building the barn, and just think how excited you'll be for September. When everybody's sad to go back to school, you'll be happy because we're back. Evil One has a super chat for $5. Evil One wants to know, are you able to escape and go to cons soon? My buds, Don McTeague from Calgary, and Ebass, she's from Canada. He said Canada, but I know she's in Calgary. Ebass are coming to see me soon. Hope you two can come see me in Kansas soon.
It sure would be nice. Yeah, absolutely.
I know we've got, I think the border is opening July 5th.
It got pushed back to that, or is that the day?
I think it
Anyways.
opens July 5th to people who have a vaccine.
Okay.
Top news stories. COVID-19 border measures to ease July 5th for some fully vaccinated travel.
And we won't be going anywhere until at least September. So, and I'm actually half vaccinated right now. I am eligible to get the next one. I need to get it.
You need to book your appointment.
Because you can't travel without it. So, and also good to not get COVID, right? So,
I'm pretty sure I had it. Amy Morris has a super chat for $5. Amy says, flesh tone is a misnomer. Black skin isn't, nor is white. Flesh picks all the colors. It reflects them. Just paint with the colors you like. Oh, sorry. Let me say that better. Just paint with the colors you like. Because it had an exclamation. And Grodd rocks.
Thank you. I know that's true, and I cannot get that out of my head. And and I've seen all sorts of darker skin tone or lighter skin tone done just with whatever wild color, and it looks beautiful. That's not been an ability that I've had
Amy
so
is
far.
wise. Listen to the wise.
She's very wise.
Woman, Amy.
I hope to get there one day. But I will be taking the toning it down advice, and I think that will really help. Yeah, I was having trouble with my colors feeling too washed out, and I'm learning that's kind of a stage that kind of happens until you pull it together, and I keep not having the ability to just let that kind of flow. And so yeah, I kept warming and warming my colors to the point where it's orange. So yeah,
You tried to canter before you could trot.
I tried. Yeah.
Kai Hu Lai, I don't know if I said that right, had to super chat for $5. Thank you, David, for all of the amazing tutorial videos you have made.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Neil Durkin has a super chat for $4.99. Hey, DNM, so happy I caught this momentous stream before you depart. Take a break. We're taking a break. Any recommendations on what you'd like to see on the portfolio review? Have fun.
We're going to be now. I'm going to say in general for a portfolio, you want to have 3 pages. That's really the sweet spot. It shows you can show enough of a range of what you can do with that many pages. We're asking for 2 pages. So, look, I'm just going to say it. We asked for 2 pages. Generally speaking, it ends up going to 3 anyway. So 3. I should just say 3 because you really kind of do need to see 3. And yeah. So anyway, 3 pages. You want to make sure. I love Spider-Man, but be wary of drawing Spider-Man for sample pages because he's got no face. So, and people need to see expressions, and you can draw faces. So if you do samples and you're not showing that, you're leaving questions. So I would say whatever character it is, make sure it's a character where you're having to draw expressions and faces. A range of characters is great. I think if you can draw really great background characters, and they're not always background characters. Obviously, it depends on the type of comic. When I think superhero comics, I think anybody that's not in a costume is a background character, But being able to draw those well is important. Being able to draw things like cars and city streets, things, so you want to be able to show that. Ideally, you want to show a little bit of action, and a decent command of moving the eye around the page. Now, the most important skills are anatomy, lighting, and your foundational drawing skills, because the other stuff is easier to improve. Like I firmly believe that perspective, you don't need a huge amount of artistic talent or work to really get the hang of that. If somebody explains it, like it's
I could do perspective.
yeah,
That's taking it too far.
Maybe
that might be a bridge too far.
But like I will tell you right now, I have to admit, I barely worked on perspective before I got work in comics. Or any kind of backgrounds. I really spent all my time working on figures. So when I did samples, it was like a nightmare of me just trying to, find a way to make the backgrounds work. And they were a struggle. My first job was doing backgrounds for Mark Silvestri, and I had help from Scott Williams, and JD Smith was assisting Scott with inks at the time. And so they helped a lot, but yeah, I jumped in. It wasn't so bad. With figures, it took me a lot longer. It probably took me a good more than a year to really kind of get comfortable. For sure, probably over 2 years before I thought, okay, I've got something going on, and I think that I'm going to be able to make a go of it, and I'm not just going to, go home with my tail between my legs.
Go down in a blazing ball of flames.
Yep. Well, it's so scary. You look at the artists around you, and they're so talented, and you think, okay, where do I fit? Can I hang with these people? And what is required of me in order to be able to do that. Like, yeah, I know I need to get better, but how do I get there? And it's a scary thing. And you're working in the studio environment where there's a lot of help there, but it can be kind of unguided help a little bit, because everybody's there working. People are there to, spend their day teaching you. And so you really kind of need to pick things up yourself too. And yeah, it was tough.
Jim Klein has a super chat for $20. Jim says, I just wanted to take a moment to thank both of you for all of the streams and videos. They've been very helpful, both in improving my art and taking the edge off of the whole lockdown time frame. I hope you enjoy your time off. Thanks, Jim.
Thank you so much, Jim.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Art9 says, Meredith Stone's going to make a Yellowstone down there and ride a horse in the wild. Absolutely. Absolutely. Pierre-Luc Larocque has a super chat for $6.99. Do you get upset when tattoo artists reproduce your work, or do you see it as tribute? Thank you for your awesome tutorials, and hello from Quebec.
Hello, fellow Canadian. No, I certainly don't get upset. I think it's great. It's I think it's a huge compliment, and I've seen some that are done, beautifully. So yeah, no, I'm always thrilled to see it. I have not had the guts to put my own art on me, which is why my tattoos are really much more just like a tribal kind of a pattern. I was so afraid. Now, of course, the first tattoo that I got actually was this one right here. And the tattoo artist that did it was the best tattoo artist that I ever had. I've said this before, I think a couple of times, but yeah, he went to jail. I have no idea for what, but that was the end of it. All right.
Probably don't want to know.
I'm going to look up feet. I got to do it.
Thank you for the super chat, Pierre-Luc.
Knock my stuff around.
Next super chat comes from Wayne Blackman for $10. Wayne says, hi, Dave and Meredith. Thank you for all the great Monday night chats. I've learned a lot from the art and the conversations. Wishing you and the whole clan a joyous summer. See you in September.
Thank you very much. That was Wayne Blackman?
Yeah.
Thank you, Wayne.
Thank you so much, Wayne. Very nice.
Okay. Every single picture is the bottom of the foot. Come on, help me out here. I already have the reference. I'm looking. I do that. This is like my worst problem. I hate looking at reference because the minute I do it, I'm looking for the perfect reference now. It's got to be perfect.
No, it's not going to happen. You're not going to get perfect reference.
I am.
You're not. Stop. You're going down the wrong. No, it's not, Dave. Right there, that black and white picture.
I'm just gonna. Okay.
Stop now. Volt 14 has a super chat for 200. I'm going to say rubles. RUB. Hey, David. What's the difference in your mind between the faces of Wonder Woman, Catwoman, and Harley Quinn? And how do you differentiate them art-wise?
That is a good question. And let me finish this foot. And then actually, that's a very good question. And actually pick characters that are really, they are different.
Are you sure? Are you sure they're different?
I'm sure they're different. I'm going to draw hair on his feet. He's going to have a lot of hair on his feet. You know why?
Because you can.
Because they're gorillas and they're very hairy. But also that means that I don't have to draw as much of the foot. Okay. So, right. I need to see my screen.
Wonder Woman, Catwoman, Harley Quinn.
I know. Okay. So, I'm going to draw. Here's my standard kind of a head. And this is the Loomis method mixed with the How to Draw Comics Marvel Way John Buscema method, and a little simplified too, because both of them actually really contour the face out. I don't really bother. I just did it there, but for the most part, I don't really do that. I'm too lazy, and I get what I need out of it, but I do a division here and division here. You guys know this. I've done this a bunch of times. So my ear. So for Wonder Woman, I'm going to lighten that down. And I'm going to draw one and then the other just right on top of it. So here's my Wonder Woman. And these are going to be subtle differences because
I don't hear any talking. You're just so quiet.
You don't hear me?
Yeah. You normally you're concentrating.
Oh, my female faces don't have the kind of variation that they really could, truthfully. So, so for Wonder Woman, I like to give her a bit of a stronger nose. So I don't want to give it a curve. I want it to be pretty straight. So it's got a little bit more strength to it. She's got a brow that kind of comes out just a little bit more. She's got a stronger face. And I want to really give her a decent amount of chin. I don't want to get too carried away because it can start to look masculine, and it's a fine line, but yeah, that's basically it for Wonder Woman. It's pretty small. I'm gonna make this a little bigger so you guys can see it. So yeah, there's Wonder Woman, and so for Catwoman, I'm gonna erase it, and I'm gonna do the eyes. Well, the eyes are gonna be the same, not just basically the same. They're gonna be the same. It'd be easier if I could just. I probably shouldn't have even erased them. All right, and so I want to not extend her forehead out quite as far because I want it to be a bit of a softer line here. A bit of a pointier chin, a little shorter. I'm going to angle this line in just a little bit more so that she doesn't have quite as much of a jaw. And then with her nose, I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller, and I can even give it just a little bit of a shape, just like this. And her mouth is the same. There you go. So that would be more a Catwoman face for me. It's a softer face. And for Harley Quinn, it is Catwoman's face. For me, it's but the difference being that, and with a character like Harley Quinn, it really comes down to expression. And this is where I really struggle. And I keep thinking to myself, I need to just stop and study some artists that really do it well. So I'm going to leave the nose the same. So because she's got a smile, her upper lip and lower lip are going to be thinner. They're going to pull up into that smile. I want to bring her cheek out because when you smile, it lifts your cheeks. So I'm going to bring her cheek out a little bit, maybe make her chin even a little bit pointier. I'm going to lift her brow a little bit. And that is pretty much how I would go about it. Now, there are artists that draw her so much better. So, but truthfully, that's the difference. With her, it really comes down to expression to really get that change. So there you go. Page.
That was very excellent tutorial. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next super chat comes from Amy Morris for $5. Amy says, how about starting a Finch Flock Facebook group to keep the band together this summer? I'm going to miss you guys and the group. We really are the best. That actually is a great idea. I can do that tomorrow.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Because you're good with Facebook.
I am. I'm on Facebook every day.
Yeah.
And then I can
actually, that would be great.
Comment and stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe I could do it right now.
Because truthfully, I don't really use it. And we had Discord and I just kept it. I wasn't using it. So it was a problem. But yeah, you are on Facebook a lot. So actually, I think you'd enjoy that.
Let's see if we can make a new Facebook group. Let's see how do I do this? I'll have to figure it out. I haven't made a new group in a long time.
You've made one before?
I don't know if I ever have.
Really? Okay. Do you really need to do it?
I have to look into it. I don't know how to make a Facebook group. I've made a page before. But such a good idea, Amy. I'm going to do it.
I think that's great. Gorillas kind of have hairier hands too. I know, but.
And that would be a great place to let people know if we get t-shirts and swag and stuff.
Yeah, which one day you'll actually do.
One day I will. Maybe over the summer.
Maybe.
Because it takes me a day mentally to
I'm starting to realize I need to actually in the morning say, Meredith, this needs we need to get
make me a
done.
list. I made you a list, remember?
Yeah, because like the stuff getting mailed out,
It
I know you're busy every day, but it is a priority.
It has been. I know, but you could hop on your motorcycle.
You hear this goes, I know, but this is how we
It
end up
has
arguing.
been really busy though. Like that's why I'm taking a break.
And I can't go on my motorcycle because you can't fit a FedEx box into one of the
No.
bags.
I'll do
I
it.
tried before.
Yeah, you had to drive. Tough times. Tune in this Thursday, says Eric, at 8 p.m. Eastern for a painting live stream with David and myself on his YouTube channel.
Yes,
we will
and
be painting Batman with a limited palette, only 3 colors.
black, white, and either
Gray. I'm kidding, because black and white
Right.
make gray.
black, white,
Green.
black, white. Please, would you?
Pink.
Anyway,
Black, white, and pink.
Yep.
Batman looks good in pink.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not pink? Sven Jensen just saved you with a super chat. Sven said, it's been great listening to you guys on Monday nights. Dave's amazing drawing and Meredith's crazy laughing fits. Best thing ever. Thanks so much for all you've given us and have a great summer off.
Thank you so much, Sven.
We really do need to like get a clip track of all Meredith's crazy laughter.
You realize that's you, right?
What do you mean?
Talking about yourself in the third person again.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
I know.
I do it more now because it bothers you.
People that talk
Meredith-
about themselves in the third person, people
Meredith,
that back in parking spots.
Meredith likes to bother Dave.
Scourge of the world.
It's part of the joy of her existence. Don't take away my joy, Dave. Don't drown my joy.
You have Everett backing into parking spots, you know.
I know.
That's our 17-year-old. It's already too late for him.
I bet there's a lot of people on this stream who back into spots and you just offended them all.
I'm sure they're deeply offended.
Chris Dean has a super chat for $5. Hey, D&M, enjoy your time off. I recently went back and reread the Cyberforce issues you did. Even back then, you were amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Only to get better.
Thank you so much. I haven't looked at that stuff in so many years. Be actually kind of interesting to just kind of go back and take a look. It's been such a long time. I'm really not liking what I'm doing here. One thing I like about this pen is I can really press and then just flick up, and it actually really gives me a bit of a real drag out to the line. It's a really nice way to fix things when it's just looking a little not good.
Henry Jeremick is trying to stir the pot tonight.
What's going on with Henry?
Henry says, Meredith, did you get your t-shirt from Jimmy Reyes yet? He's on the stream because he said I sang him happy birthday, but I sang happy birthday to everybody but Jimmy because I didn't get no t-shirt.
I just talked to Jimmy actually, and I think that they're gonna be able to get you one. Sounds like.
Yeah. I believe it when I see it.
Yep.
And I have to say, it is possible to eat too much garlic. I feel like I would kill 5 vampires right now. And like, because Caesar salad plus the spinach dip was really garlicky.
Yeah.
Oy. Oy, oy, oy. Volt 14 has another super chat for 200 rubles. That was a very cool demonstration. What do you think about the differences between Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne? Wayne always is more intense and serious compared to Kent.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, you know what? If you don't mind, Meredith, I'm going to do that one too because I think that's a great comparison. Okay. So, I'm out of room. You know what? I'm just going to do it here. I was working on this last week, so we got others. All right. So, I'm going to draw. Let's turn the head the other way, so at least it looks like I'm not doing the same thing every single time. There's my eyebrows, my nose, my chin's here, forehead's here. Contour for the cheek, contour for the cheek. This is pushed out too far, but just bringing it in there. fixes it. All right. And he's too low here. So I'm going to draw Superman first. So here's his brow, eyes. Here's another eye here. Both Superman and Batman have essentially the same nose as far as I draw it, and I was a little long with that line, so I'm just kind of correcting for it. So it's basically just your standard kind of nose. And I'm going to give him a pretty good pronounced brow. For men, for most women too, unless they're smiling, the cheek really kind of goes straight down, or the cheekbone. Here's his mouth. And I want his cheeks to be really wide. So he's got a pretty good, like his skull is wide. And I'm going to bring his jaw down even further than you would normally see here. And I'm going to really extend this back too. So he's got a bigger jaw than I might do for some characters. For most, really. Obviously, it's not the best hair in the whole world, but just to get it across. And then I'm even going to actually draw some of his jaw. Now, this should line up with the other side. So there you go. And then he's got a big, too thick. He's got a big, thick neck, just not that thick. There. So there you go. There's Superman. And for me to do Batman, I'm just going to erase this down. And none of this is like, this is how it's done. This is just really my thinking when I'm drawing them. So I'm going to draw the eyes the same. I'm going a little thicker with my line on top of the eyes, even without lighting. I just like my Batman, my Bruce Wayne, to just look a little darker, So my brow will be the same. My nose, like I was saying, is the same. Mouth is the same. And then I'm going to bring in the forehead just a little bit because he's not quite as pronounced. And bring in his chin just a bit because, again, I don't want him to look like a brute. And he's going to be a little more narrow in the chin and just a tiny little bit shorter. This is a big difference. So here, I've got his cheek for Superman is way out here. I'm going to bring it in much closer in like this. So it's more of an thinner face. Anyway, and then the hair obviously goes up like this. You want to do it better than this, but basically, there you go. So very, very subtle difference between the two, but it's enough to get. It's amazing how with only a couple small little changes, and the neck is not quite so big. Now, ironically, of course, when I draw my Batman in costume, he's just as muscular as Superman. I mean, let's be honest, but it's comics, so.
So I created the Facebook group.
Very exciting.
So if you want to join, it's called Finch Flock.
Now, and from this angle, I'm not actually going to see that cheek here because it doesn't pop out quite as far. So there you go. That would be kind of the difference for me.
I'm going to invite Eric Grove so that he can post it in the stream. Because I think he's my Facebook friend.
You just can't ask him to moderate it because he will kill you.
No, I'll moderate it.
Okay.
There he is. I'm just inviting him to be part of the group.
All right.
I sent him an invite.
Oh, this is really coming out thick. Sometimes these things just... I'm going to leave it open.
All right.
It should dry out a bit.
And you'll know it's us because I posted a picture of chickens.
There is somebody on Instagram, and their Instagram handle is I think, bald and beautiful Finch.
That's
I
not
followed him
you.
back. No, it's not me. But anyway, I followed him back.
Oh, why? It's
Because
just
he
weird.
said that I was bald and beautiful.
Oh, okay. Maybe he's Finch and he's bald and beautiful.
It's a picture of me, though.
Oh, okay. Oh, fair enough.
It's not actually the most flattering picture of me, so maybe it's just, I don't care. I followed it anyway.
You're weird.
Yeah.
Honest Badler has a super chat for $1.99. I've noticed Kent has more cheekbone and mandible.
Yeah. But not substantially. You don't want to... And it really depends on, if you're doing something that's much more cartooned. One of my favorite Batman artists of all time, Tim Sale, his Bruce Wayne is very, very, he's got a big jaw and he's got more of a Superman kind of a face. But I generally like a bit of a more of an angular kind of face for Batman. Batman to me seems more like he's not a marathon. What do you call it? You do all the different, you run and then you're on the bike and then you're in the water.
Triathlon?
Yeah, he's like that kind of a, hard kind of guy.
All right. Esquivo Art has a super chat for $5. Esquivo says, "Hey Meredith, would it be possible for you to share your scripts so that aspiring artists could use it for their samples? Also, gonna miss you on the streams." Sad face.
Do you want to do that? I can put them up on my Gumroad.
Sure.
Okay. We will do that. And thank you, Esquivo.
Can put up the first issue of Rose.
Yeah. And maybe some Wonder Woman stuff.
Are we allowed to put up that?
Oh, yeah. It's published.
Okay. All right. All right. Kenji Kale has a super chat for $5. Hi, DNM. I'm having trouble placing the chest and pelvis in my constructions in perspective. How do I get better at this? Cheers.
Let me just finish his shoulder really quickly.
Oh, and then we got to do book of the week.
Okay. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to... Now. So I'm going to use my eraser, which is not any kind of a... it's a bit of a lump shape because it's been used a lot. But if I'm looking down at it, I could actually look at this like kind of like a pelvis. So I can see the top here. And so if you're struggling getting things in perspective, that can be a good way to go. Now, what I have here, I've got basically 3-point perspective. 1 point is here. You don't need the points really. I'll just make sure that you're consistent across. I'm off here. Let me move this down. And then my other point would be here. So I don't need perspective really for just a figure. I'll just do that. And then my third point is going to be basically like this. And so then the rest of the figure becomes very easy. So my chest is going to sit up here like this. And, your legs are going to be tubes that sit like this. Now, that is pretty simple. There's actually something that you might want to try. There are these dolls you can get. They're from Japan. I don't know where any of my stuff is right now to find one, but anyway, you can find them on Amazon. They're like posable dolls. They're very helpful. But generally, what you want to do is like for a pelvis shape from the front, it's basically like underwear. That's basically it. And you can see the back here. From the side, obviously it would be like this, and you just want to get to the point where you can draw it from a bunch of different angles just on its own and just get comfortable with that shape and drawing that shape in perspective. And once you can do that and you can do it effectively, really, if you're struggling, just think in terms of really simple shapes and then lighten that down. It's a really simple shape. Obviously, it's just a rectangle. And then, I've got my head coming out here. My center line is here. An arm comes out here. Another arm comes out here. I'm going to round my chest out like this. And like that, and start to construct and this is still a simple shape, but it's more complex. So working out these slightly more complex shapes on top of something really simple, and this is really the foundation of how all this kind of drawing is done, is you go with the most simple shapes that you can to avoid problems where you're trying to establish really complex detail overall. What was it? Okay. Kind of bent over. I didn't mean to do that, but all right. Anyway.
You know what that music means? Yes, you do. What
Please.
that music means? It's you're gonna miss me singing to the book of the week music. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What will you do without me on Mondays?
So I've actually shown this book before. I don't know. Well, I'll still have you. That's a problem. Let me zoom out. This is a little close. I don't mean that. You don't normally sing like this.
I sing every week.
Yeah. No, I mean, aside from the stream, it's not like you walk around doing that. So it's more vulnerable than people might think.
I'm going to have to start.
Yeah. All right. So I've shown this book before. This is quite a while ago, so a lot of you might have missed it, but I showed this book for Brett Blevins's art last year, and he's one of my favorites. He's absolutely incredible, and this to me, I think, is his best work that he ever did, certainly up to this point, and it's a huge favorite of mine. So this time, I wanted to show really, and I don't know if I've been avoiding this, but Marc Silvestri is my number one influence by far. He's the artist that made me want to get into comics. And this whole time, I've never talked about Marc's art on here and done a book of the week of Marc Silvestri's art. Now, my favorite art from Marc is Wolverine. Now, okay, it's a lot of things, but the stuff that when I was looking at comics first and really getting into it, it was all Wolverine. That's the stuff he had just finished. He was already at Image. That book hadn't come out yet. And then I found this stuff here. So it's a little bit earlier, but I don't have the Wolverine books. So I don't know. They're in a box. So anyway, but this is some of his best work. This is before Wolverine. And this is actually, he was the artist on X-Men before Jim Lee took over. So this was a huge time for X-Men. It was the most popular comic in the business. And so being on X-Men meant that you're really kind of the center of the, for artists anyway, for mainstream comics, you're kind of the center of the universe. And all of these figures, and I can tell you from experience, working with Marc and sitting and watching him draw, he doesn't reference any of this stuff. This is all just out of his head. And the pose that he has with the hands there, it has, you can feel the movement of that broom all right out of his head. And I have actually never seen him. Now, he had been working in comics for quite a few years when I started working for him. So he had developed a lot, and I'm sure he's had to do a lot of observation, and he's had to go through it the way that we all do. But he just has such an incredible feel with figures and composition and layout, and just getting not only really expressive, like powerful superhero art, but just, well, expressive. Talking in circles, but like this figure here is, I'm telling you right now, directly out of his head. I've seen him do it so much that I feel very confident saying he's not looking at anything for any of this stuff. And you could throw anything at him. He's one of those artists that he's drawing a nightclub scene here. And now I've had to draw scenes like this, and the amount of looking through things and reference and trying to find a way to go about it that I've had to do, he would just do it. And, he's one of the most talented artists I think ever to work in the business. And I wanted to mention earlier, we were talking about John Buscema. John Buscema is, I think, his biggest influence. And you can really see a lot of John Buscema's kind of style in here, but he really developed it with his own look. And there are things, and you don't see it so much in here as it went along. Mike Mignola, I think, was a big influence on how he drew a lot of things. And I think Dan Green, who is the inker of this, actually was a big influence on his overall look too. And I think it influenced Marc in the way that he was drawing. But it's just a very, very expressive style. He actually really reminds me quite a bit of Olivier Coipel in the sense that he, like all of his background figures, because most of this really, this isn't superhero work. This is just storytelling, most of the stuff. And it's all beautifully, beautifully done. So, and then, you know, the thing that made him such a popular artist were covers like these, just the compositional layout. And I'm sure you can see how influential this kind of a composition is for me. And I really learned a lot of this stuff from Mark, these kinds of figure stacking, and, you know, it looks like a movie poster. It's beautiful stuff. And when I first looked at Mark, yeah, none of this was really my favorite thing. I would just skip past this stuff because I wanted to see the cool superhero stuff. But now when I look at it, all of these little figures, these guys in the background here, this face here is just amazing. And this one here, like, yeah, it's incredible stuff. And it's, unfortunately for me, and I think for a lot of people that are really influenced by him, something that, you know, you can pick up a lot of the surface and you can do a reasonable job of drawing like another artist. But this kind of thing here, you know, it's very difficult to emulate, and I certainly never could. So yeah, this is very, very influential stuff for me. That chest right there is so much how I draw my chest shape. That actual panel there was a big one for me, and he's done similar things. So, but yeah, so much of what I do is just from this work, from his Wolverine stuff. And I would say it was about probably 6 months into my career drawing that I 100% stopped looking at Mark's work completely. And I did because I couldn't match what he was doing, and I couldn't get away from it. It was a dead end for me. I got as much from it as I could without, I would just be copying it, and I couldn't bring anything else to it. And so I finally started looking at other stuff, and I stopped completely for many years ever looking at. Now I looked at his work, but just in terms of being an influence, I really tried to look away from it. But yeah, there are. This also has Walt Simonson in it, which we should do at some point. But yeah, there's a bunch of. Oh, here's another one. Yeah, amazing stuff. So I mean, look at that guy. I don't know where he got that from. His head, I guarantee it, from his head. It's ridiculous. And this, one of my favorite panels in the book. Look at how cool that little. She's not paying attention. But yeah, that's really great. Just that arm there, the expression in it is really amazing. So yeah, obviously my biggest influence, and you know, just a great person too. You know, he was very supportive for many years for me starting out. So there you go, Marks of Vestry. This is X-Men Inferno. And I highly recommend this book if you can get it, because not only does it have Mark's work in it, but it also has a bunch of Walt Simonson and a bunch of Brett Blevins. So, you know, cover to cover, this is a phenomenal book all the way through. There you go. And it's a good story.
I didn't even like torture you there.
No, thank you.
I made it quick.
I don't know what I'm doing with this. Like, this is so not what I normally draw. I am flying by the seat of my pants right now, drawing this picture. That's kind of why I wanted to do it though too. Sometimes it's fun just to go for it and see what happens.
All right. On this Battler is a super chat for $1.99. He's laughing at the cover of the Facebook group because it's our chickens. LOL chickens. Erica Scott has a super chat for $10. Erica says, Meredith and Dave, thanks for helping me and the flock through a lot of tough Mondays in a tough year. I'm going to miss these, but I know you guys deserve a vacation. Farewell and Finch flock forever.
Thank you so much, Erica.
Don't say farewell, Erica. Say, we'll see you later. Because not a farewell. I refuse. I won't let it be farewell. It's just a break. It's just a break. We're coming back, Dave.
Be back.
Dave's going to be here all summer.
Yeah.
It's just me.
Nobody seems to care about that, though. Everybody's like, oh, Meredith's gone. I'm out. That's it.
Eric Grove's laughing.
Why?
Because there's 42 members of our Finch Flock Facebook group already. A Sing has a super chat for $4.99. Hello, Meredith and Dave. The drawing is looking amazing. Can you do a tutorial on how to draw very big and muscular figures like Bane or the Hulk? Eric, write it down.
Yeah.
You have a list, right? You have a list somewhere?
I do, yeah. Yeah, I would like to do that, actually. I think that'd be a very good one. Be a lot of fun. And there definitely is an approach to it. It's not so different, but I have to figure out how I would approach that. It was harder for me. I think that my hesitancy when you like, I'm kind of like, I don't know. I learned how to draw big figures. I had to learn how to draw thinner figures. That was the challenge for me, because I came up in the early '90s image. Cable and all the big like characters is what I really liked. So it was, for me, drawing Spider-Man, that kind of thing was a stretch.
Honest Badler has a super chat for $1.99. My fave X-Men story arc is Executioner's Song.
Oh, that's a great one. Yeah.
Graves has a super chat for $10. My favorite artist in the world, Joe Mad, Greg Capullo, and you, my top 3. Thank you both for working hard. This is helping me as an illustrator. Thank you, Dave and Meredith. Have a great summer.
You too, and thank you
so much, Graves.
Have you seen Joe Mad? Joe Mad. Have you met Joe Madureira?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Pretty sure I have.
You know his art, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know Greg Capullo.
Bald guy?
Yeah.
Goatee?
You know his art.
I've seen it.
Okay.
I've seen it.
My point is, when people say that, I think you guys are completely nuts. I mean, I'll take it, but yeah, there's no comparison.
He says modestly. Sheldon Martin has a super chat for $19.99. Sheldon says, thank you guys so much for all the videos. I don't think I'll be able to pay Dave back for all the takeaways, but someday you see me driving a Maserati because I'm parking it for the owner. I owe you guys a spin in it.
Deal. I kind of, you know what? Look what I've got going on here. I went with the hair down his arm here, and now I'm trying to go across here, and they're not fitting together. And I'm going to have to do a little bit of thinking to figure that out. I think I'm going to have to.
Kara Barker, I just discovered David Finch this past week. Just landed here for the first time tonight. Wait, y'all leaving? Oh, man, just my luck. Kara, don't you worry, because there are 52 plus weeks of live streams for you to go back and watch.
That's true. And we'll be back.
And we'll be back in September. So if you get through all 52 live streams before September, let me know.
And really, all summer, we'll have better live streams because Meredith won't be, they won't be as good, but.
Oh, I hit the wrong button. I hate it when I do that. Stop. It's not, I'm not clapping for you. I need this one. Car crash, man.
I think that looks better.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, I don't know what I was doing there. Well, that was the problem. I didn't know what I was doing there. And now I think I can make it flow into this. And his arm's bent, so it'll.
Dan G has a super chat for $5. Dan also, by the way, backs into parking spots. Dan says, I echo everyone else's sentiment. Thank you for everything that you've done and continue to do for all of us. Thanks, Dan.
Thank you very much, Dan.
Tom Teacher says, dang it. Looks like I'm going back on Facebook. Just join the group. Don't join anything else. Don't just be private. Everything.
I don't have a problem with Facebook or anything. I just don't know how to use. Like I tried it before, and I don't know. I never really.
You're not good with stuff like that. No. You're not good with actually communicating with people.
Hey, I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, but that's because it's like
I had to technologically set this up. So
I know, but the physical effort of typing for you is the equivalent of mailing a letter.
Oh my gosh,
virtually impossible.
You know my most hated sound in the world? Meredith singing. I mean, aside from that. My most hated sound in the world is the sound of a text message.
Oh,
I want to throw my phone every time.
It's true.
Hate it. I can't.
I don't know why you have text message.
Such an aversion, and it's
why
actually,
don't you turn that off?
It's the reason why I can't find my phone.
You can turn that off. Did you know that?
Somebody wants to talk to me, just call.
Did you know you can turn that off?
No.
It's a little button on the side of your phone. Watch me. I'm going to show you right now.
Yeah, but can you turn off texts so
This
they
is
can't
on.
come?
This
Can you
is
make
off.
it so people can't text you?
You could block people. No. You could tell them to not text you.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I can't help you there.
Because
But you don't have to have, like, you got a text message and your phone was so loud it woke me up. I'd be irritated if I got a text message with that noise every time too.
yeah, did I answer?
No, because it woke me up.
No, I did not answer.
You did not answer. I
Never.
answered. I answered for you. It's true. Don't text Dave. Everything Kumo. Everything Kumo. I think I got that right. Has a super chat for $6.99. I really struggle with hair, male or female. It always feels like there's either too little or too many of either lines or shadows. Any tips?
Yeah, no, that's I think our kid just died in a video game. I think that's what happened up there. Right, he's yelling. All right. So okay, I'm going to say two things. The first thing I'm going to say is, so if I'm going to draw, here's here's some hair, just like a patch of hair. It's obviously it's very simple. Now, I could go in and draw a hair here and kind of break it up and draw another one here and another one here. And I'm keeping it to the same size for each of these. And you can see that it starts to really close up and just look very uniform. And so what I want to do is I'm thinking about these as overall shapes, like a ribbon. So here's a big ribbon shape here. And then maybe I'll draw another ribbon shape here. I'll make it smaller. And then this one is kind of a medium between the two. Maybe a small one here, cross one over here. But right off the bat, what I have here is a bit more of a varied size. And now for shadowing, I'm going to shadow under here, just in here, under this one. That's a bit of a bigger. Now I've got this kind of connecting in here. Maybe I'll shadow here and just a little bit there. I don't want to have as much shadow over here as I do over here. So I'll go thicker here because this is an overall form, again, rounding away from the light. So if I go thicker here, it'll hold together. If I go thick all the way across with heavy shadows, it'll start to close in and give you that effect. So yeah, there you go. And, and now I can go ahead and I can do essentially rendering, which kind of reads like hair up along it, just like this. And that's fine, but that's not really, it's a bit of a different technique. Like this isn't really creating hair so much. Well, it is, but it's still using the broader shapes and it doesn't really close in. So yeah, that's really, in a real nutshell, how you approach it so you don't end up with something that really closes up. You want to think of it as, you have an overall shape that you're dealing with. The shadow is here, and while this is broken up, you still want to think of it in those terms. Oh, and the other thing I want to say is look at Travis Trest. Now, he has very complex hair. It can be a little difficult. Olivia Coipel, Gary Frank is phenomenal with hair. Gary Frank, I'd really give that a try. He's really good with it. He has a bit of a Travis-inspired style. So do I. We're very different, but we have some of the same inspirations. But anyway, I think he might really work for you.
Jim Klein has a super chat for $20. Jim wants to know, Dave, would you ever consider doing a video on the ins and outs of line weights and the styles and effects that can be achieved with them? My lines could stand to be bolder. A tutorial on spot black techniques would be good too. It's a great idea.
Yeah. Well, and thank you so much, Jim, for the super chat. This is very generous. Yeah, no, I did something on drawing with negative shapes, like drawing with negative space. And that really is, in a large way, how I spot blacks. The other way is really compositionally. And that's, for instance, maybe I want to center around this whole thing here. And so maybe I could draw kind of I don't like that already. So I would fix that. But, something like this, and maybe I'll break it up here. I don't like that. So I'd fix it, but whatever. I could just sketch a shape in there and I could go black all through here. And that really kind of pops that out. Now, that's not ideal. I would, but that's so much of drawing with composition. I just want to do this really quickly. I've got a figure. Here he is. He's happy. And I can instantly really draw your eye directly down to that figure, either with a shadow up here like this and shadow that in. Or I could even go directly down across him and make it a little bit more moody. I could cut it in here too. And so much of that, now I'm using flat shapes for this, but this technique works on so many different things. Like if I've got like an office, I'll just draw. So here's one wall, here's the other wall. I'm looking down into it. And I've got my guy sitting in his chair. Here's his desk, and he's got a couple other chairs, and I probably shouldn't see the top of the wall. You wouldn't see the top of the wall, ideally. Otherwise, it looks like you're on some kind of a movie set. So I'll give him a big pillar here and another big pillar here. Whatever. Big window. And his arms are on the desk. And if I wanted to really kind of center it, now this is in perspective, but I could still just do the same thing. And so here we go. Just casting a shadow over the wall behind him. Now the window's here, so I would do something like this. But that shadow on the wall there really kind of works to center that figure. And, that kind of technique, it's amazing how much you can use that everywhere. And no one ever catches you for it. Like nobody ever says, hey, you're just using that same technique all over the place. It works everywhere. It's like salt. Whoa.
Did you rip it?
No, but I bent it. Light wear. Shoot.
Larry Lambert has a super chat for $5. Meredith and Dave, thank you for the great Monday nights. You guys are great. Have a great summer. Thank you so much, Larry.
Thank you so much. Larry, you sang him happy birthday last week, remember?
Yeah, I know. Kara Barker has a super chat for $10. Just paying ahead for the 52 live chats that I'll be watching this summer. Thank you. Thanks,
Thank you
Kara.
very much, Kara.
Hope you enjoy. And when you hear the maniacal laughter, you'll know what everybody's talking about. Dave, can you zoom in, please?
Yeah. Let me...
One Mighty R is a super chat for $5.
I haven't seen him yet. Okay, that's pretty zoomed in. Let me go.
That might be a little much.
Well, as long as I stay on the screen, I should be fine. So I'll just keep looking up to make sure that...
Mighty says, hope to hear some good stories when y'all come back. Have fun. Y'all two are awesome.
Thank you, Mighty. I'll tell you one story that you're not going to hear. That's the me...
Missing Meredith singing story?
Missing Meredith, cutting me off, and finishing my sentences story.
I do that all
You're
the
doing
time.
it so much right now.
I'm doing it all.
And I know it's because I paused, but this is how I can't help it.
I do it all the time.
You got to stop.
It's the story of our
You'll never
life.
stop. Anyway,
You'd be sad if I stopped.
oh yeah, I'd be so sad. I'd be yeah. How would I live
if I didn't finish your sentences for you?
That thing that you do off the boat and you're like on your feet.
Skiing?
Thank you. You're like water skiing. Whoops. This is my problem. I can't think of names. I can't, like, my mind is... Bear in mind, I'm drawing too, right? So that's my excuse. Anyway, yeah, I'm not water skiing this time.
No, I don't think my dad's water skiing anymore either.
Yeah, it's... I don't have fun. I bailed into the water so hard the last time. I was like, wow, is this really actually fun for me right now? I don't know. I'd rather just, chill.
Ever to water ski.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's great. Well, he's very athletic. And this is my problem. I'm not. So I'm the whole time just like, oh.
Isaac will not water ski.
He's a chicken. It takes after me.
Like father, like son.
That's right.
Apple in the tree.
Although he is not afraid of amusement park rides at all. And I was so afraid.
He's kids. They don't
He'll
have
jump-
they don't have enough knowledge to have a sense of fear.
I don't know. He'll jump off of a diving board from like he doesn't care. I remember spending the better part of an hour standing on a diving board while my dad, who was so mortified, is going, "Just jump, you're fine, just jump." And all these people are watching, and oh yeah, fun times.
All right. Daniel Castelli has a super chat for $4.99. Daniel wants to know, hi Dave. Hi guys, Dave. Every artist I admire are extremely modest.
Oh, see, I'm off the page. I'm sorry.
Do you know any artists that just own the fact that they are great?
Yeah, well, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Now, there are definitely some artists that can be a little bit much to take in at times. I'll say. I'm not gonna like, oh, this artist and that art, but you know, there are. But you know, for the most part, it's a very supportive group of people. Now, I will say, and I was actually talking to Eric. We were talking about Mike Turner and just my struggles with other artists in general. And my struggle is that as much as I seem very positive, and I generally am, and I've worked very hard to get there, I can be very competitive and it can be negative. Like I'll decide that a person is just a bad person because they're beating me and I can't take it. And so I drive myself crazy. And, you know, I'm sure like, you know, Mike, it's not like we were fine, but yeah, I really, he was doing so incredibly well. And I had a hard time with that. It was very difficult for me. And I wasn't the only one. Like this happens. So be aware, if you get successful, you'll have people that are very upset that you're successful. And I've certainly been one of those people. And it's very difficult to avoid that and just worry about making your art the best you can make it and not getting negative. So, I mean, that's not even actually what you asked, but it has been a problem for me at times. So it's something, yeah, I've definitely gone through some negativity over the years. But yeah, generally artists are very, it's a good community. All the way from, you know, Marvel and DC artists, Image to indie artists, you know, it's one thing that's nice. You go to conventions, it's kind of like a big equalizer. Everybody hangs out and compares notes, and nobody's going, "Hey, you know, you're working on this book, so yeah, I can't speak to you."
All right. Justin Jones has a super chat. Jones maybe has a super chat for $5. Justin says, "Happy belated Father's Day, Dave."
Oh, thank you.
Question: how do you keep things from being repetitive in regards to camera angles, action, and storytelling?
Yeah, that is such a good question. I don't as much as I would like. I'm sure every artist would say that. And it's storytelling, it's faces, it's so many things. It's very easy to just fall back on what you already know. And I find for me, what can help is if I'm on a deadline, I just go to what I know and just get it done. And now Mark Silvestrio showing his work. He has such a massive mental library of what he can, you know, draw on that he's fine. For me, mine's a little more limited, and I think a lot of us are going to kind of be that way. So it can start to show up. But my trick for that is I have so many artists that I love, and I make no bones about the fact that I look at different artists' approaches and techniques for trying different things all the time. I'm a huge fan of Eduardo Rizzo. His 100 Bullets is my favorite of his work. And I've gotten so many compositional things out of it. Spotting blacks, just not just that, but also just shot angles and working with different shot angles. Another one, Brian Hitch. When I first saw he's very famous for his widescreen technique, which is very cinematic. And I think it's a big reason why the Marvel movie universe happened was his vision on the comic page really made it, you know, you could see it as a movie. And I think it really sold it on a lot of executives. And, you know, you have executives that like to take credit. Oh yeah, Marvel, you know, the movies are, you know, they're responsible for them. They are. I mean, they've made them great. They tell great stories. But to me, the number one person most responsible for the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe in terms of making it like in the beginning and making it be a thing is Brian Hitch.
You?
Yeah, it was me, right? No, it was Brian Hitch. And anyway, I'm going on a total tangent about Brian Hitch, but
Right.
point being, I
We love
looked at his
Brian
work,
Hitch.
and yeah, it really blew my mind. That I started working with widescreen and trying some of those things. Frank Quietly is another one. So I would say, yeah, you need to look at artists that do really interesting kind of storytelling techniques and try them. And you'll be amazed how, one artist is drawing a picture of, a character, whatever, doing whatever. They're walking into a police station and they've got a
That's a
criminal in front of
technical
them.
term. Whatever.
Whatever, yeah. You can take that shot and turn it into whatever else. You're not copying the shot, you're just copying the angle, some of the compositional choices, and you can get so much mileage out of that, and you learn every time you do it.
All right. Rike Ingles 123 has a super chat for €5.
You always say that every single time you say Enrique. You always say 1, 2, 3
because that's what his thing says.
Still.
I'm gonna say it. If he wrote it, I'm gonna say it. Enrique says, I only have one question after 50 weeks of late night streams. What the hell am I going to do on Monday at 2 a.m. in Germany? Sleep like a normal person? Sorry, Enrique. You might have to start reading a book. Watching late night TV. Spirit Retro has a super chat for £5. Got any particular artists or books to study for learning/developing skills with inked shading, hatching? You see ink comics. It's the only place I'm weak.
Bernie Wrightson, I would say his Swamp Thing is incredible if you're looking for a brushed kind of approach for your inking. If you're looking for a really clean look like Scott Williams, that kind of look, obviously anything by Scott Williams would be great to look at. His X-Men stuff over Jim Lee is top notch. Other artists that are similar, and it's unfair to call them similar, like Jonathan Glapian is not similar. He's similar, but he really has such his own turn of line. It's his own thing, and it's really beautiful. I'd really recommend some of Jonathan Glapian stuff. You can find his stuff over Greg Capullo. Danny Mickey has a more kind of an organic kind of a style, something I really like. I'd really recommend looking at his stuff. If you want something that's looser and more, design oriented, I'm a huge fan of Jock. I think he's incredible, and he just has like this beautiful, like natural kind of brush flow. It's really amazing. It's deceptive because it looks very simple, and it is in some ways, but it's not. It's it takes absolutely perfected composition and pose and shot selection in order to pull a style like that off. I'm not even talking about inking right now, but yeah, those would be my top choices for inking. Is that kind of work. I would also really recommend if you're looking at working digitally. Did he mention? I think it was traditionally, right?
Yeah, just inking.
Okay, but if it digitally, I'd really recommend going to Page One Comics, the YouTube channel. He's got some really great inking tutorials for using Clip Studio, that kind of thing. I think he's very, very good.
Jimmy Reyes, there he is, getting his plug.
And
Jimmy, where's my t-shirt?
And he has brushes that you can get at his Gumroad. Another inker. Oh my gosh,
Jimmy really is a good inker.
Yeah,
he's very, very good. Yeah, those are great choices. Yeah. Dan G has a super chat for $2. Dave, do you mess around with Copic markers?
No, I have.
Isaac does.
Yeah, he's actually, I bought like this, I don't know, $500 crazy amount. I don't know how much, but it was a lot. And yeah, Isaac uses it. That's his toy, and he loves them. I prefer paint because here's the thing with paint, I can go light over dark. You cannot do that with markers or any kind of, watercolor, that kind of thing. And I don't have the control over, I really like to be able to, also, I like the thickness when you have a painting that has that kind of a, not the white of the page, but the white of the paint. It makes the paint look more like thick and substantial, which I like. So no.
Kevin Mandevil has a super chat for $9.99. Kevin says, Dave,
yeah,
I just recently collected your Brightest Day cover run. Do you recall the medium you used for the Martian Manhunter and Green Arrow one? It's very similar to some of your recent paintings in style.
That was oil. So I used oil paint just on regular comic paper. I had to put a primer of gesso on it. And I used liquid as my medium. I haven't done a lot of oil painting, and the reason for that is it makes me sick, especially liquid, which is a great medium. I get very ill, and I just don't have the ventilation. And even if I did, once I get sick with something once, I'm just done. So yeah, I don't oil paint for that reason.
We want him to live a long, long time. Tegmo Modelworks has a super chat for $10. My season finale donation. Have a great break. I look forward to seeing the painting and the critique streams. September will be here before we know it. Thanks for everything you do.
Thank you so much, Tagamo. Thank you.
Thanks, Tag. Amy Morris has a super chat for $5. Just want to tell you guys we're going to miss you this summer. Enjoy it, and we'll see you this fall. God bless. Thanks so much, Amy. I just want to put it out there that I hope everybody has a really safe and happy and healthy summer.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a good summer versus last summer when we were all trapped.
Yeah, we're starting to get it back.
Everybody's getting out, going
watching
to
UFC and seeing a crowd.
going to baseball games and concerts.
The last UFC that I watched, it was actually the one that I had not seen last week, and I was like, don't ruin it. Anyway, there's some guy in the audience. This is a prelim fight, or it was an earlier fight anyway. I don't know if it was a prelim, but and you could hear, because the audience is not so big, some guy in the background screaming, boring, boring, like over and over. He would not stop. I don't know if they finally dragged him out of there or what, but yeah, it's kind of it was funny.
That's no good.
No, not really.
No. Honest Badler has a super chat for $1.99. 80s movies, what song comes to mind?
I'm sorry, Honest Battler, what was the question?
80s movies, what song comes to mind?
Oh, right away, the Highlander song from Queen. I'm not good with names, so I'll never think of it, but that song, right away. Highlander, greatest 80s movie of all time. Okay, well, I mean, there's Star Wars in there, so I don't want to get too carried away, but great movie, like top, whatever.
Must have been Loved by Roxette, but I can't remember what movie it was in, but I know it was in a movie.
Oh, one of your 16 Candles types of
yeah,
movies.
it might have even been that movie.
Yeah. Highlander, oh, man, that was such a great movie.
I don't know if I've seen Highlander.
I know you haven't, because I mentioned it to you before, and I think that I have not even tried to get you to watch it, because I'm like, if you don't like that movie, I can never look at you the same way again, and, it's not healthy for a relationship to have that kind of a distance between us. We should watch it sometime.
We'll watch it over the summer. We'll make a point of it. Michael DeFonte has a super chat for $5. Dave and Meredith, you should be able to request from your cell phone company to stop incoming outgoing text messages for Dave's phone number.
It's worth looking into.
Oh yeah. I mean, I want to be. Thank you for the suggestion, Michael. How's your buddy going to contact you?
Eric texts too.
Yeah, I know.
Dang it.
Dave just is going to have to grow up and put his big boy pants on.
Yeah, because I mean, and that is the truth. I have two people that I take texts from, Eric and Lance, and what am I going to do?
Exactly. And sometimes your wife texts you.
I don't think I respond to your texts.
Doesn't matter. I know, but you read them. So Alessandro Kreppel has a super chat for $5. Dave, do you use the Wallywood's 22 panels that always work? I think that would be a nice tutorial video about this.
It really would. And actually that has come up before. And I think that is a great idea. It is such a great list. And, it would be kind of fun to do like a bit of an updated, I say updated. I mean, I've been doing this for enough years now. I don't know if it's an update anymore. But, my kind of a style of that, I think it'd be a lot of fun. Okay. You know what? Here's what it is. If I'm to this side of the drawing, my hand covers it. So if I do this, hopefully that should fix it.
All right. Next super chat comes from Brad Scott Art for $100.
Oh, Brad, wow. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Brad. Brad says, enjoy your time off, and Miss Meredith rocks. MMR.
Thank you so much, Brad. This is very generous. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Brad. We very much appreciate it.
I don't think I hate this right now.
I'm enjoying it.
No, yeah, sure. The stream. I mean, the picture. Like,
I know what you're talking about.
I thought, oh, here we go. Why did I say? I was talking to Eric, and I can't remember if he said Gorilla Grodd or I did, but either way, I was thinking, what was I thinking? I can draw a gorilla, sure. I could draw a horse, but not without reference. So yeah, and I can't draw from reference really when I'm doing these. So it kind of ends up being what it is. Like this foot, yeah, I kind of looked at something for a second, but not really. So is what it is.
Embrace the moment.
Embrace it. And you know what? This is so much of my printed comic work is like this too. I'm like, oh, hey, I'd love to reference this and make it look right, but
you only got so much time.
There's only so much time.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Oh man, you know what's frustrating?
What?
You only have 3 weeks to do a book, and you have to draw the United Nations General Assembly. And at that point, I'm like, okay, well, I can block out a few days for that right there, and then I know first of all, I'm going to be up and not sleeping for a few days, and then there are pages that'll just be 2 pages a day, just to catch up.
So what you're saying is you really enjoyed doing that.
Oh man,
that was
rough.
Your favorite part.
It's such a great story, and it was a great moment. Like I read the script, and I'm talking about Bendis for this one. He did that to me, but you know what? You read the script, and it is just great. Like he is, so he made me a believer, so it made it easier. But there were times where he really put me through the work.
Made you earn your $1.
Made me a better artist.
Well, that's good. All things for a reason. Leo Falco has a super chat for $10. Leo says, thank you, Dave and Meredith. Monday Night Draw is an awesome experience. David, what work of yours would you like to see reproduced as an artist's edition? The book he's currently working on. Yeah,
and it will be, actually. We're already planning on doing an artist edition. So yeah, it's coming up now. I mean, what's your favorite thing you're doing? The thing I'm doing right now. It's such a...
But it is unlike anything he's ever done. Ever before.
Yeah, it's
there's no I hate to tease it when it's not coming out
and
soon,
you can't,
but no, but I'm just saying, like, when you see the work, it's
other than that,
it's incredible.
I think Moon Knight, the first 2 issues, maybe the first few issues anyway, of Moon Knight, that run would be nice. The thing is, I could point to issues here and there, and then I'm like, oh no, but not that issue. And yeah, it's tough, but that's the thing. The book that eventually one day will be finished. There's no compromises. There's not a single page. There are pages that actually there are 2 pages where I'm like, oh, I don't know, not 100%. But I put so much time and effort into those pages too. And like sometimes you can't do your absolute best every time. You're gonna fail sometimes, but there are no compromise pages in there, and I'm very proud of that.
So I'm just going to give a little shout out to Julio Torres. Julio says, hey gang, dad here, no Allie. Took this one for myself. Need the group today. Got some crappy medical news. I hope everyone is well. So we'll all say a prayer for Julio, and hopefully everything works out. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, we will pray for you, and yeah, hopefully it goes all right. Sorry to hear that.
All right. The song, I saw the song from Highlander was called Princes of the Universe.
There you go.
If I recall correctly.
Yep.
That's from Jim Klein.
Thank you, Jim.
And Must Have Been Love was in Pretty Woman. There you go. Can always count on the stream. Oh, the stream never lets me down.
And I did say Pretty Woman, didn't? Oh no,
I
didn't.
You said 16 Candles.
That's right. Ah, well, I'm going to zoom back out here to,
finish up.
Well, I've got to do.
Because how much time do you have left?
I've got about 10 minutes, and I just need to do my small detail.
Okay.
But small detail is actually better zoomed in. I just need to really make sure that I'm. There, that's gonna work. Okay.
Other Minds has a super chat for $15. Howdy, Dave and Meredith. These Monday night draws have been a blast. Enjoy the time off and good luck working on that glorious tan. See you in the next one.
Thank you so much, Other Minds. Yeah, we will see you soon.
I hate to laugh at Dave, but last night I noticed.
Yeah.
I told him he looked like a penguin because he's outside so much. His neck is white and everything else is tanned.
Like under here.
Yeah. So you lifted up your chin.
Yeah, to which I said, you can tell I'm not just laying around.
And you can. You're not. You're working hard like a hard-working person. You love your lawnmower.
Oh, that thing is the best.
You're like
happiness is a riding lawnmower.
You need more grass to cut.
Yep.
You keep getting mad at me because there's not more grass to cut.
I was actually a little upset. I woke up today. There's so much water. I know it's not going to be cleared. And Tuesday was going to be my cutting the grass day. So now I'm going to have to put it off. I'll actually have to do my job.
Maybe Thursday.
Thursday, yeah.
Michael DeFonte has a super chat for $10. Sorry, I had a yawn.
Okay.
Dave and Meredith have a wonderful vacation. You guys had a big part in my finally making a comic book. I just self-published and sold over a dozen books. Thanks from a fellow lefty artist.
That's great. Congratulations.
Congratulations,
Michael.
Michael.
That is a great start. And thank you.
Greg L. Static Art is here for the super chat for $2. Can't believe I'm late.
What?
It's all right, Greg. You can watch it back.
Well, we're just glad Greg's here.
Just happy to have. Hey, the gang's all here. All right, this is the time of the night where I feel like I should say, if you have not already hit the like button, please do. And don't forget to subscribe if you are not subscribed. And join our Facebook Finch Flock group and stay up to date with what's happening at the Finch fam over the summer. Eric posted that somewhere.
I need to send you you know what? I need to put them up on Instagram or something. Anyway, I did some sculpting with my mother last week.
Oh, yeah, that's fun. You should send me the picture because I'll put it on Facebook.
Okay. So, yeah, I sculpted like a gnome. Anyway.
They were sculpting mushrooms.
We were sculpting mushrooms. And I thought, okay, if we're going to be here sculpting mushrooms, I'm going to sculpt a mushroom. But I'll tell you what, half an hour in, you're like, okay, this is the worst. You know?
And
the clay was so hard it was 15-year-old clay. It was almost impossible. And I've never done it before too. So there's that. Anyway, yeah. So then I ended up drawing a little gnome kind of laying on it.
The gnome, the face of the gnome, I think accurately reflects
how I was feeling about
how David was feeling at that moment.
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I wouldn't want to say I wouldn't want to do it again. What I would love to do is do it learning from someone that knows what they're doing. Because wow, was that ever a waste of time? I thought it was going to be like, we're going to be there because it was my mother. It was your mother. Meredith's mother was there. I took pictures of all the stuff that everybody was doing and some of the women from my mother's paint group. And I thought, okay, they're going to do like a course. I'm going to learn something here, like a class, you know. Wrong.
You did not learn something from it,
No.
is what you're saying.
But it was fun. I mean, not really. It was good to hang out with my mother.
Well,
that's what I
the
mean.
gnome was fun. Trent Early has a super chat for $10. Hey, Dave and Meredith, just wanted to send what I'm able to say. Thanks for all the streams. Just wanted to send what I'm able to say thanks for all the streams. Sorry, Trent. You're forever my hero. Love you guys. I'll miss Mondays being great. Trent, just go back and watch stuff. There's 52 weeks. That'll keep you busy for the summer, and we'll see you in September. Don't feel sad. And thank you for the super chat.
Thank you very much, Trent.
Devin Vo says, enjoy your time off, Dave and Meredith. Dave is like, Sheldon Martin says, Dave is like Forrest Gump, cutting grass because he likes it.
It's very peaceful.
Ross Klein, it is. It's nice. It's like ironing. Ross Klein says, Dave Mayer, thanks for doing this live stream for so long. I hope you enjoy your time away.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you. Yeah.
Think of all the new sound effects I'm going to have come September.
Yeah. Are you going to get down here and put them on? You won't. You
No.
just make me. I'll do it.
Well, you'll do it.
And
you'll do it for me.
We got a drywall razor it's like a
lift,
lift,
drywall lift.
and so I'm actually this week we're gonna start.
And Dave will have an
finishing it.
office.
I'll have an office.
Dave will have an
Get
office.
the walls painted.
We'll give you
we're
an
gonna put in
office
a couple
tour.
more outlets, and and all of my painting stuff, all my it's all just on the floor. I have no shelves, so that'll be sorted out. Hopefully, we'll get that. Looking forward to it.
Evil One has a super chat for $2. Have fun monkeying around. See you next season.
Thank you so much.
Oh, Jim Klein says, Meredith, I know it's a ways off, but please post on the Finch Flock group you set up tonight to let us know when you're coming back. I will, absolutely. YouTube might vary notification with time off in the streaming. I will absolutely post it on the Flock Facebook Flock group site. So much stuff. You'll feel like I never left. Greg Al Static Art has a super chat for $5. Going to be weird without this for a bit. Still remember that first stream. Thought it was cool. You were going live. Feels like such a long time ago now.
Yeah, it is. It's over a year ago. It's crazy. Well, I think the last time I've been to a comic convention, I had never done a live stream, and we've done so many now. It's going to be strange to go back to a convention. All right, Meredith.
You done? All right, let me read the next. There's one more live one.
Zoom out here.
Hold on. Let me get all the super chats. You finished early. Trent Early has another super chat for $5. Trent says, P.S. Meredith, if you and Colin ever need an extra alternate cover artist for your upcoming book, please consider me. I think Colin would vouch for me. Thank you, Trent. I will consider you then. Artsy Bible Nerd has a super chat for $4.99. Thank you so much, Artsy. I don't see a comment, so I'll just say thanks for the super chat. And Michael DeFonte has another super chat for $5. Meredith, your singing and outward joy of life is very uplifting. Here's a donation that I hope helps with vacation costs. See, thank you so much, Michael. Somebody likes my singing, Dave.
He likes that you're happy.
I'm very
happy. I don't like that you're happy, so that's why I don't. Well, it's very nice.
Oh, it's so nice. All right. Well, that is a wrap.
Yeah, so that's it. And actually, I want to just open up my... Now, and I didn't look at this really while I was drawing. That's not true. I looked at it just before we started today too. But so yeah, this is the picture that this is from Lanil Yu, who is absolutely incredible. He was a book of the week last week, and this is what I wanted to draw for this picture. And he had the foot up here, and I was like, I don't know if I. And meanwhile, I put the foot not up there, but pretty close because it worked. Lanil Yu, he's a master.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he really does. All right. Well, that's going to be it. And good timing. It's 9:57, so you get to go to bed basically right on
time. One more super chat from Scott MV for $10. Thank you so much, Scott.
Thank you very much, Scott.
Thank you guys so much. We love you. And don't you worry, we will be back. Dave will be here all summer painting and doing his Dave thing, tutorials and stuff.
Yep.
Doing reviews and I'll keep everybody posted on how things are going on the Facebook page. And we'll be back bigger and better than ever with more maniacal laughter. And Mary's going to make up some songs. Everybody have a fantastic and safe summer.
Absolutely. Where did I put I can't close it without the mouse. That was a good end. You did great there. If I would have stopped then, we would have been great, but we didn't. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody. We love you. See you in September.
I just did that so I could end.